Hello everybody and welcome to Introduction to Summer PowerArms. I am here to work with you to help build that foundation to the movements that you will see in your Summer PowerArms program. This is going to be a great program that you can step back to when you need to really work on those movements and hone in on that form. So let's get started on those day one demonstrations of the movements you will see for that workout. Today, we're going to be doing triangle push-ups. You can do these to different surfaces. You can do this to the floor, a chair, a wall. You can do this just about anything, a countertop. So I will show you a few of those movements here. So coming down, starting on those knees, you're going to take those hands right underneath. You're going to have them in a triangle position. You're going to lower that chest down towards those hands and then press back out. So you can see my fingertips are pointing in towards each other. My hands are nice and close. Elbows are tracking back at a 45-degree angle. Knees are on the ground. Feet are up. Okay? So coming to that chair then, you're gonna come to a standing position. Hands are gonna come to the chair. And you can always take those hands out just a little wider if you need to. That's perfectly fine. You're gonna step back into a nice plank. So you can see my body is in line from my shoulders to my hips, to my heels. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take those elbows back at a 45, work that chest down towards that chair, towards those hands, pressing back out, taking it down and out, okay? So if you need an even further modification, you're going to go find a wall, and you can do that, like I said, to a countertop as well, so you're a little higher, or you can even go to a wall. So I'm gonna go over here to a wall, okay? I'm gonna take my hands to that wall in that triangle position, step those feet back, come up onto my toes. So my face is looking straight at that triangle, and I'm gonna bring my forehead right towards that triangle, okay? Elbows still tracking out at that 45, bringing it in. So that's gonna hit those triceps, that's gonna hit those forearms a little bit, that's gonna get here back along the back of that shoulder, okay? So that's our first movement. Our second movement is going to be an isometric bicep hammer curl. So you're gonna take that hand, you're just gonna stay in a standing position, you're gonna take that hand up and down as almost like you're hitting something with a hammer, okay? And you're gonna hold it there. Now you're gonna take your other hand, you're gonna place it on that forearm, on that working arm, okay? And you're just going to press down with that top hand while you lift up with that right, okay? So it's a hammer curl, and you're using that resistance of that hand. I'll turn to the side here so you can see that work. So I'm pressing down as I'm pulling up with that right forearm. Okay, so that's gonna work that bicep muscle, okay? And then your next is going to be a tricep dip. So you can do that to the floor if you'd like. You can do that to a chair, or you can do that to even a countertop, so it's a little bit higher for you. So starting on that floor position, you're gonna come to seated. Hands are gonna be on the ground next to your hips, fingertips pointing forward. You're going to drive those heels into the ground, lifting those hips up into that crab position. You're gonna drop down so those elbows come straight back towards that wall, pressing up. Those hips can tap the ground and lift up if needed, okay? Pressing out of those heels at the bottom. Coming to that chair. I like to start seated first. Get my hands set on the chair, fingertips pointing towards the front of that room. Feet are gonna come out a little bit further. They're gonna be right in line with your hips. I'm gonna slide my butt off of my seat here. And you can see now my knees are right over top of those ankles. I'm gonna lower those hips down so they stay close to that chair. And then I'm gonna press straight back up. Dropping down and lowering, making sure I'm keeping those arms pulled in tight towards my body, elbows pointing back towards that back wall, okay? So that's your tricep dip to a chair. And like I said, you can also take that to a countertop, same thing, as long as that counter is not too high. You don't want to really pull those arms up too far, but that's really gonna work the backs of those triceps. Lastly, we're gonna be doing a plank walkout. You can do that to the floor or a chair. You can even do that on a bench, a couch, any lifted surface is fine, okay? So starting with that floor position, okay? You can do this from your knees. You can also do it from your feet if you wanna get a little bit further. So starting on your feet, okay? You're gonna come up to that high plank position. Shoulders right over top of those wrists, weight pressing out of the back of those heels, core tucked in tight. You're just gonna step right hand out, then their left, take the right hand back and left. Then you switch. Left comes forward, right, left, and right. This is really gonna start getting those shoulders working. Shoulders are gonna be burning. You can come to your knees if you need to drop it down. Right hand out, left, right, and left. Taking into an even further modification, I'm gonna come up to a chair. Same thing here, you're gonna take your hands so they're right below your shoulders. Coming out, still should have that nice line from your shoulders all the way down to those heels. You're gonna step the right hand out, left, right, and left. And you also wanna make sure, you can see my body is not rocking back from left to right. It's staying nice and rigid, okay? So, walking it out, you can see that's working my forearms, it's working that tricep, it's definitely gonna hit your shoulders. So, those are gonna be your 4 movements for that day 1 workout. I'm so excited to get working with you guys. Let's get going.